धन्वन्तरये अमृतकलहस्ताय सर्वामय विनाशनाय त्रैलोक्यनाथाय श्री महाविष्णवे नमः. Good evening, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to extend you a very warm welcome by SWAC and Sri Paripurna Sanatana Ayurveda Medical College, Bangalore. I will shortly introduce about the SWAC. SWAC, the Swadeshi Vigyana Andolana Karnataka, is a vibrant non-profit science movement and a Swadeshi spirit. It is a unit of Vigyana Bharati with the largest number of independent state units. They are through Dhanvantari Vedike, they are conducting the series of webinar. Today, by this virtual meet, we will perceive the traditional system of medicine in a very holistic way, by which it will reach the community on a global terms. And as told in our Ayurvedic Shastras, Tadvedya Sambhasha Buddhi Vardhananam and Vaidya Samuha Nishanshaya Karanam. So discussion and gathering help us to evolve in a better way. So with these motives, let us begin this virtual conference. I would like to invite Dr. Nirmala Kelamani, coordinator of Dhanvantari Vedike, to enrich our minds about the clear motto of SWAC. Ma'am.
Thank you, Aarti. Om Dhanvantariye Namaha. Namaskar to all. Swadeshi Vignana Andolana Karnataka, Dhanvantari Vedike welcomes you all to the series of lectures hosted by Events Civil Department, NMIT, in collaboration with Sri Paripurna Sanatana Charitable Trust, Ayurvedic Medical College Hospital Research Center. We are conducting a guest lecture today. So on this occasion, I would like to welcome to the program Shri Professor Dr. A.V. Srinivasan, founder and managing trustee, Shri Paripurna Sanatana Charitable Trust. Welcome you, sir.
Namaskar.
I also welcome today's speaker, Dr. Shripati Acharya, XD and Director, Academic Munial Institute of Ayurveda Medical Sciences, Manipal, Karnataka. Welcome you, sir. I would also welcome Captain Ganesh Karnik, sir, State President, Swadeshi Vignana Andolana Karnataka, former MLC GOK. And at the same time, I would also welcome Dr. C. Renuka Prasad, Working President, Swadeshi Vignana Andolana Karnataka, Sri Ramesh H., State General Secretary, Swadeshi Vignana Andolana Karnataka, Dr. Girish Kumar V., Coordinator, Dhanvantari Vedike, Dr. Pallavi Shetty, Coordinator, Dhanvantari Vedike, and I also welcome all the teaching and non-teaching staff and the students of Sri Paripurna Sanatana Ayurveda Medical College, Hospital and Research Center, Nelamangala. At the same time, I would like to welcome all the students of Ayurveda, faculty of Ayurveda, and the doctors, practitioners, and all the members of the SWAC for this program. Welcome you one and all. Thank you. And so over to Dr. Aarti.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Dr. Srinivas Swamiji, Shri Paripurna Sanatan Trust, to open the session and grace us with his blessing. Sir.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a great pleasure for me to inaugurate this webinar on the topic of Ayurveda management of lungs disorders. And I thankful to Swadeshi Vigyana Andolana Karnataka, who has collaborated with us to organize this program, webinar sessions. In this, all the participants, Captain Ganesh Karnik, Dr. Sri Renuka Prasad, Sri Ramesh H., Dr. Nirmala Kelmani, Dr. Girish Kumar, Dr. Pallavi, and Dr. Artri, and all the students of Sri Paripurna Sanatana and all Ayurveda students and teaching and non-teaching staffs of our college. I am very much thankful to all of you for participating in this wonderful program where our Dr. Shripati Acharya ji is going to speak about the lung disorders, Ayurveda management on lung disorders. It's a wonderful topic because nowadays in this COVID situation, the respiratory issues many of the patients are suffering with. And now the third wave is also coming up, so for which all the doctors are getting ready how to prevent this disorders. So in this situation, I feel like that everyone should participate in such webinars which are conducted by all the eminent doctors, and they should gain the knowledges and they should share this knowledge with all the students as well as the teaching and non-teaching staffs of all the institutions. And I proudly say that we are also planning to have our one apex body, international apex body, especially for the integrated system of medicines, where all conventional as well as the traditional practices will be collaborated and incorporated. So in that situation, we are heading towards, and most probably from Russia, they have extended their support for us, as well as UK also, they have extended their support for us. And in a couple of times, I spoke to Dr. Girish sir, who said that we will always be supporting for this webinars or otherwise for our apex bodies, so that all the doctors can join together in one panel to make it integrated system. Nowadays, the problem is that if we go for only conventional, then certain adverse setbacks are there, which may be our medications or otherwise the treatment protocols. Whereas our ancient healing systems has given a lot of importance, and it has also exhibited how we can treat certain cases without any medications, and even certain cases with the limit of medicines. So these kind of approaches, what we have already been done, researched, that should be presented to the globe. So that is what our main idea is. And today, what we have focused on this Ayurveda management of lung disorders, probably I feel all the students will enjoy, and all teaching and non-teaching staffs will enjoy. So I don't want to take much of your time. So I conclude here with. After that, we will speak about our apex bodies and other things. So I thankful to everyone. Dr. Arti, now you can take up.
Thank you so much, sir. Before introducing my sir, Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Now, I would like to introduce today's speaker and my HOD sir, Dr. Shripati Acharya sir. So currently he is working as a Director Academic in Munyal Institute of Ayurveda Medical Science, Manipal. He had done his PG in Kaya Chikitsa from Institute of Medical Science, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, and PhD from Sampurna Anand Sanskrit University, Varanasi. He had authored 14 books on Ayurveda, including Research in Ayurveda and Updated Ayurveda. He had guided 15 PG scholars and authored more than 150 research and review papers, which have been published in national and international peer-reviewed journals. He had presented research paper in Philadelphia, USA, UK, Beijing, China, Singapore, Milan, Italy, Colombo, Sri Lanka, Dhaka, Bangladesh, Chiang Mai, Thailand. He had also done oral presentation in webinar hosted in various cities like Hong Kong, Amsterdam, London, Paris, Zurich, Taipei, Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, Washington, and Manchester. He had received prestigious awards like Research Excellence Award Hyderabad, Eminent Educationist Award Bangalore, Teaching Excellence Award Mumbai, Best Pepper Award Belgaum, Best Ayurveda Nephrologist Award BHU, Dhanvantari Award USA, Aryabhat Award New Delhi, Global Shanti Sanmana Award 2021 Srinagar, Rashtra Prerna Award Indore. May I now request Dr. Shripati Acharya sir to address the gathering, and please if you have any questions write it down, type it down in the chat box. I will ask after the session. Thank you.
Thank you for the intro. Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible. Yes.
Okay. ओम गम धन्वंतरे नमः। आगादिरोगान् श्रोतान् शक्तान् अशेषकायान् प्रसुतान् शेषान् औत्सुक्यमोहान् उद्गान् गद्वान् योगुरवैद्याय नमोस्तुते. First of all, I am grateful for giving the opportunity to give the lecture to the SWAC, Pradesh Vignana Karnataka, and the Paripurna Sanatana College of Srinivasan. Also, Dr. Captain Ganesh Karnik sir and Venuka Prabhakar. Also, the Ramesh sir. So, it's my pleasure to present the lecture on Ayurveda management of lung disorder. As this is the time where the pandemic, that is the COVID-19 is there, become a pandemic. So it is wise that we have taken the topic on lung disorder. Ayurveda has a better role in the management of lung disorder. So, lung disorders are commonly occurring in Indian population. Ayurveda medicine has a positive role in the management of lung disorder. Lower respiratory tract infection, acute bronchitis, chronic bronchitis, bronchial asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, bronchiectasis, emphysema, pulmonale, fungal infection of the lungs, pulmonary cough, and pneumonia are common disorders in population. Medicines like Pushkaramula, Vasakavishta, Poshkaraj Kashaya, Amritavishta, Amritottara Kashaya, Salsadi Churna, Sitopalaj Churna, Abhisuta Misrana, Mrityunjaya Rasa, Tribhuvanakirti Rasa,
Sorry,
Vimuleshwara Rasa.
Acharya, 1 minute. Your slides are not moving.
Not moving.
Yeah, please
I will again.
go for a presentation.
How is moving, sir?
Yeah, now it's all right.
Okay. So medicines like Pushkaramula, Vasakavishta, Poshkaraj Kashaya, Amritarishta, Amritottaram Kashayam, Salsal Churna, Sitopalaj Churna, Abhisuta Misrana, Mrityunjaya Rasa, Tribhuvanakirti Rasa, Vimuleshwara Rasa, Anandabhaira Rasa, Mukkamukkatikavi, Vati, Kapaketu Rasa, Kasa Chintamani Rasa, Purnajandavaya Rasa, Siddhamakara Rasa, Makaravita Gutika, Mallasindura, Salasindura, Ranapahaya Rasa, Hitamsaka and Hitamsaka. These are a few formulations which are commonly used in the management of these lung disorders. So the lung disorders are commonly occurring in the population. So these formulations are having the ingredients with actions like Vipana, Pachana, Vatahara, Kapahara, Vishnavirista, Remigna, antibacterial, bactericidal, anti-infective, immunomodulator, immunity booster, bronchodilator, expectorant, and nucleolytic actions. The present paper highlights about the Ayurveda management of lung disorders in India. So this is the physiology of lungs. You can see the structural organ of respiration, structural unit is alveoli. Alveoli where the exchange of gases, carbon dioxide and oxygen takes place in the blood of the lung capillaries, and there is liquefaction of the blood. So,
Hello.
So-
Sorry, sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you just don't use the video because your voice is not audible clearly. You can switch off your video, then net will be okay, better.
okay. So am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now slides are moving now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It is moving.
This is these are the lungs where there is a exchange of gases, carbon dioxide and oxygen across the respiratory barrier, and it will be gas. So this is the histology of the bronchiole. In the bronchiole, you see there are innermost lining is the mucous membrane, which is comprising of pseudostratified, columnar and ciliated epithelium. And beneath it is smooth muscles are there. And there is the identical. So these are bronchioles where in the asthma, these bronchioles they will become cross of the stamina. So this is the bronchioles and the alveoli. Alveoli, you can see the three layers, that is the epithelium and the endothelium. Endothelium of the blood vessel and epithelium of the alveoli. So this is the histology of the alveoli. So this is on the bronchus. You see, innermost lining is a mucosa, comprising of pseudostratified columnar ciliated epithelium, and beneath it is smooth muscle, and below it, and on the other side there is a cartilage, hyaline cartilage. So there are smooth muscles will go for spasm, and there will be excessive secretion from the mucosa, and there will be congestion of the bronchioles. The lumen will be obliterated by the appearance of mucous membrane, and there will be spasm of the smooth muscles causing bronchoconstriction. This is what seen in bronchostomy. This is an axis X-ray, which you can see after light. This is the consolidation in the lower lobe of the left lung. You can see the it silhouettes with the diaphragmatic left hemidiaphragm. So this is the consolidation. This is the consolidation in the right lung in the lower lobe. Consolidates with the hemidiaphragm, right hemidiaphragm. The consolidation in the right middle lobe, isn't it? Confined to a lobe, demarcated or limited by the fissure. And this is the bronchogenic carcinoma. Bronchogenic carcinoma having the widening of the mediastinum, and the border is threaded. It is not smooth. And there is also pneumonitis. Now let us see the actions of the formulations, ingredients of the formulations given in lung disorders. They are Dipana, Pachana, Remigna, anti-infective, antibacterial, bactericidal, anti-allergic. There are all drugs having these actions. Anti-allergic, antihistaminic, bronchodilator, mucolytic, expectorant, smooth muscle relaxant, vatahara, kapahara, malavatamlomana, virechana, Vishnavirya, Utta, Patu Rasayukta, Pitta Rasayukta, Kachara Rasayukta. So these are the actions of the ingredients of the formulations given in lung disorders. We will discuss on that. The formulations which are given commonly in case of lung disorders, ideal formations are Guduchi Kashaya, Poshkaradi Kashaya, Amrutottara Kashayam, Yashamula Pattara Kashaya, Sunti Kashaya, and Poshkaradi Kashaya, Tikat Churna, Talisapatra Vataka, Talisad Churna, Sutopalal Churna, Ravijuta Misrana, Mukka Mukkatadivati, Mrityunjaya Rasa, Ingulesha Rasa, Tribunakit Rasa, Anandavera Rasa, Kapaketu Rasa, Ranapahari Rasa, Pitams Rasa, Tarasindura, Mallasindura, Siddhamakaraja, Purnachandrodaya Rasa, Rasasindura, Hiranyagarbha Portali, Chatkal Churna, and Sinjal Churna. These are the formulas. Some are bronchodilator, some are vatahara, some are kapahara, some are Dipana, and most of them are bronchodilator, mucolytic, and expectorant also. Anti-infective and antibacterial actions. So that. Let us see the diseases, which are common diseases which are affecting the lung. They are lower respiratory tract infection, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, acute bronchitis, chronic bronchitis, bronchial asthma, bronchiectasis, emphysema, cor pulmonale, pulmonary edema, pleural effusion, pneumonia, pneumococcs, fungal infection of the lungs, which include aspergillosis and fungal infection. Streptococcus, and others. Asbestosis, pneumoconiosis, lobar pneumonia, bronchopneumonia, and malaria. These are the common lung disorders which are prevailing in Indian population. So now let us look at single drugs like Guduchi, Venospora cardfolia. It is the best rasayan drug, best immunomodulator also. Antibiotic also. We have Bunimba, Andronoid panicillata, which is Pitta and antibacterial and antibiotic. Tulasi, Osmium xanthan, is having aroma and it is antibacterial and rasayan action. Vanatulasi, Osmium basilicum, wild variety of Tulasi, is also having similar actions. Pinnumum zelenicum, the bark is also Tipanapachana and Prostacasahara. We have Adraka, which is Shunti or Adraka, individual of the snail, which is Tipanapachana and stimulant also, the antihistaminic and anti-allergic also. Ramalaki, Umbilica officinalis, which is having natural vitamin C. We have Kiratica, Peshacharaca, which is bitter drug, and it is hepatic stimulant, and also it is soft, like Kasahara. Madu, which is having the thyroidal principle, which is an anti-inflammatory action, anti-allergic. So these are the Nimba, which is having bitter taste, which is also anti-infective in action. Vasaka contains vaccine, the leaves of the decoction is used, which is antibacterial, bronchodilator, and mucolytic and expectorant also. So we have Pushkaramula, which is bronchodilator and expectorant. So Barandi, which is Kasahara drug. And Lavanga, Elysium aromaticum, birds are used, birds, which are aromatic and these antibacterial also. And Katuki, which is Pitta-Prodavia, which is hepatoprotective, best hepatoprotective drug, and also Kasahara in action. Ashwagandha, which is having anti-stress action and also anti-toxic also. We have Kurkuma longa, Harigra, which is having curcumin, which is anti-inflammatory, anti-allergic also. We have Sitaprana, we have bitter taste. The salt is used and it is best anti-infective and antibacterial drug. Now let us see one by one diseases like lower respiratory tract infection. Lower respiratory tract infection, medicines like Mrityunjaya Rasa, Pitamsa Rasa, Mallasindura, Kalisal Churna, in chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, Purnachandra Rasa, Dhammakaraja, Kalisal Vataka, Poshkara Molasava, in acute bronchitis, Tribonic Rasayan, Dhammakaraja, chronic bronchitis, Somasava, Poshkara Kachaya, Mrityunjaya Rasa, Prostacata Rasa, and Dhammakaraja. Bronchial asthma, the medicines like Vasaka Rishta, Pushkara Molasava, Prostacata Rasa, Mrityunjaya Rasa, and other side effects. Bronchitis. Bronchitis is a condition. It is after chronic bronchitis, it can transform into bronchitis. There is permanent dilatation of the bronchioles. So there will be excess secretion and there will be infection. Repeated infection occurs. So in such condition, Purnachandra Rasa, Makaraja Gutica, Mrityunjaya, Pitamsa, and Vasakarishta are used. So emphysema. In emphysema, there will be permanent dilatation of the alveoli also. So in such a condition, so in the X-ray finding are, so there will be widening of the intercostal space, there will be increased translucency of the lung parenchyma, and there will be clear drop or widening of the carina and clear drop heart. The heart, vertical heart will be there. The medicines, and there will be the shape of the test will be barrel shape. Syringe. So the medicines we can give Abragavasna Hitaputti, Pushkara, Molasava, Amrutaram Kashayam, Pitamsa Rasa, Mallasindura, and Govindas. The Pitamsa and Mallasindura are containing purified and processed arsenic. For pulmonary where chronic lung disorder leading to cardiac involvement. There will be congestive cardiac failure like symptoms of will be there. So X-ray shows there will be cardiomegaly. The medicines like Dashamalakataram Kashayam, Ajlarishta, Prabhakaravati, Kalisal Churna, Piraksharakasa, Piraksharakasa, and Pipakarpatis are diuretics which can give an incorporated patient. Pulmonary edema is actually a complication of left ventricular failure. The X-ray findings will be there will be antler sign. The prominence of the upper zone vessels in the chest, such as diminution of the lower zone vessels, and there will be clearly A, B, and C lines, and there will be butterfly shadow or bat skin appearance in the X-ray. There will be pleural effusion. So symptoms like nocturnal dyspnea, paroxysmal dyspnea, then breathlessness, blockage expectoration, we will do that. Medicines like Tiraxara caustixa, Pranavamanda, these are diuretics, and Tripura tablet is a directional drug. Pranavasava, Arjunarista is a clarifying drug, and Ciprofloxacin. You can do also Dalsalturna and Ciprofloxacin. Pleural effusion, the causes are many. We have to treat the cause, and it may be Tripura, it may be infective, pneumonitis, pneumonia. We have to elicit, we have to evaluate the cause, and accordingly we have to take medicines like Pustarmalasava, Pranavamandara, Pitamsrasa, Pranapahar and much less. Pneumonia is the two types, lobar pneumonia and bronchopneumonia. From lobar pneumonitis will be there. Next finding is there will be uniform consolidation will be there. It is infant light opacity, confined to the lobe. This is pneumonia. The difference between pneumonia and consolidation and infiltration is consolidation is confined to the lobe, it's uniform, light opacity. Infiltration, there will be fluid infiltration, there will be patchy white, bottom like fluffy opacities will be there, viscous opacities will be there. Okay, the medicines in bronchopneumonia, Pranapahar, Pitamsrasa, Apagatrasa, Dalsalturna, and Pustarmal. However, we have to give proper antibiotic coverage. We have to do culture and synthetic test of sputum, and we have to give proper antibiotic coverage and steroids also suppress the inflammation. And we can give add-on therapy. Pitamsrasa, Pranapahar, these are the artery containing situations. Apagatrasa and Rasa in the purified and processed mercury. Mercury is having purified processed mercury is having antibacterial, bactericidal, immunomodulator. Primary cause. Primary cause of the findings will be consolidation or pneumonitis or cavitation, fibrosis, and calcium upon the condition. Primary complex alternative condition. So we have to proper coverage of AKT, anti-cox treatment. It can be 6 months or 9 months, 1 year. Along with that add-on therapy, we can give Vasavaleha, Vasakalista, Tornavasma, Ardhalchona, Idamokol. Tornavasma is an antibacterial, what has been done, this is what has been already done. Fungal infection, so it may be aspergillosis, it may be Cryptococcal infection. So, or pneumocystitis, infection will die. It is serious. Okay. So nowadays you can see, you can hear that the COVID-19 also complication is doing fungus is there. Okay. So we have you antifungal drugs like Guruchi Kashaya, Vishamula, Postal Kashaya, and Amrutavatra Kashaya. Then there are some disorders which are the occupational lung disorder. For example, asbestosis, pneumoconiosis, and these conditions. Asbestosis,
Sir,
pneumoconiosis.
sir, voice is not coming clear, sir.
Okay. Now, it's okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Asbestosis, you can give Dalsalturna, Ciprofloxacin, and Piperacillin. Pneumoconiosis also, similar medicines can be given. Okay. Lobar pneumonia, especially in after surgery, sorry, that is bronchopneumonia. Lobar pneumonia, you can see pneumonitis. You can give Vasakarista, Vasavaleha, Vishamularista, Vasirasayana, Pranapahar, etc. Bronchopneumonia is usually a complication of surgery or anesthesia. You can use the medicines of lobar pneumonia. And last is miliary tuberculosis. Miliary tuberculosis is a extensive tuberculosis where it's fulminant type, and there will be in the X-ray, so it is fast spreading, isn't it? In X-ray, you can see discrete, uniform, white opacities all over both the lungs. It is very severe nature, very fastly lead to the collapse, lung collapse, and respiratory failure. They have to give proper antibiotic coverage, that is AKT, anticox treatment should be started immediately, and correct full treatment, AKT treatment should be done. Along with that, add-on therapy you can give Vasavaleha, Vasakarishta, Uttavalachurna, and Mrityunjaya Rasa. So Kalsachurna also you can give depending upon the situation. So coming to discussion. Lung disease, before that we see the Patya. In lung disorders, Patyas are Ushna, Vatannomana, Kapavatahara, Ahara Vihara, isn't it? Ushna, we can use Dipanapachana, isn't it? And Vatakapahara, we can use hot things, freshly prepared food items, and pungent food items. They are best avoid the cold, ice cold or ice cream, fried and curried things. These should be best avoided. Kapavardhaka ahara should be avoided. And we can give Dipanapachana ahara and Dipan out should be sorry. The best we have to avoid Purovata and also the breeze, cold breeze we have to avoid. And the mist, so we have to avoid. Isn't it? In the early morning we should not go outside because there will be mist, isn't it? So apatyas are the ice cream, fried and curried things, isn't it? Cold water, they are all apatyas. Fruits also, the banana, fried banana, ripe banana, and apple. These are chickus. These can be best avoided. Isn't it? Now coming to discussion, lung diseases are commonly seen in Indian pockets. These are mainly kaphaja, vata kaphaja in origin. Common symptoms of lung disorders are cough with or without expectoration, breathlessness, chest pain, and sneezing. So Ayurveda medicine given in lung disorders are having the ingredients, the actions like Kaphavatahara, Ushnavirya, Malavata anti-infective, antibacterial, bactericidal, expectorant, mucolytic, immunomodulator, immunity booster, and rasayana actions. Some disorders like chronic bronchitis, bronchial asthma, bronchiectasis, emphysema, and cough abdominal, are chronic, usually chronic, lifelong sometimes, and prolonged treatment is necessary. We can, however, we can stop repeated infections, repeated severity of symptoms, and we can also increase the immunity and decrease the frequency of infections and the patient in the hospital. So by Ayurvedic treatment, you can increase the strength of the patient, you can increase the immunity in these patients, and increase the quality of life, improve the quality of life in chronic lung disorder patient. So coming to the conclusion, lung disorders are better managed by Ayurveda. Ayurveda means it is integrated approach. Better integrative medicine is need of the hour. You can incorporate integrative medicine. Sometimes you have to follow the modern principles. Sometimes you have to follow the Ayurvedic principles, or integrative type of approach should be implemented by treating the lung disorders. It is ideal. The time has ripened to do research in integrative medicine and to follow Ayurveda and integrative medicine. Then strict patya should be followed while giving the Ayurveda management. Patya sadhigadarthasya kimaushadani sevane. Patya sadhigadarthasya kimaushadani sevane. In Ayurveda, patya has given very much importance. Patya napitam patyam. So that is Rita. It is patyamikam sadham answer. It is Ritakar, isn't it? So it is noticed in Ayurveda. It is told in Ayurveda that if proper patya is there, medicine also need not be given, need not be necessary. Only with patya also some of the disorders are treated or cured. And also it is told that if proper patya is not there, even if we give correct medicine also, sometimes it may not act. That means there is so much importance for patya. And there are least adverse reactions after giving Ayurvedic management. So we have to see, isn't it? So suppose there is renal CKD, chronic kidney disease, where the kidney function is compromised. In such conditions, it's better avoid the medicines, Ayurvedic medicines containing mercury, lead, and the arsenic. Better not to give these medicines. So otherwise, we can give these medicines with proper monitoring and proper dosage. Isn't it? We can give without any toxic. So Ayurveda is very effective in these conditions. So Ayurveda medicine is is cost effective, safe, and affordable also, and people friendly also. So you see, the medications like Kashaya, Churna, Arishta, Leha, these are all people friendly. Isn't it? People friendly, easy to prepare, isn't it? Easy to preserve also. So actually, you see, Asavarishta, they contain the alcohol base, which is best extracted, which attracts the water and alcohol soluble ingredients. Isn't it? And also it is a preservative. Alcohol is a preservative. Asavarishta contains 9.5 self-generated alcohol, which is acts as a preservative also. At the same time, it is deeper action also. Deeper action also. It is appetizer, it is digestive also. So with these actions, it anti-stress and it is a sedative also. To some extent, CNS depression also. So with these, it will decrease the severe symptoms. It will increase the agony in the patient, and it is easy to preserve. Also, with these advantages, there are a lot of advantages are there for assault patients. So they are best preferred. Most of the patients we give one asavarita, one aleha, one or two gutika and rasa, and one churna. Yeah. Depending upon the patient's interest and patient's condition. Nadi mutram malam jitvam shabdam sparsham rigakriti. This Ashastana Parishan is done, and it is also they also prakriti धारा संहनन प्रमाणतः आर्षतः वयमतः चतुर्थः सात्विकः वयतः दश परीक्षा विधि we assess the rogi and rogabala and we give the treatment, we plan the treatment. See that whether patient is Laghuvyadita or Gurvyadita. Accordingly, we fix the dose. Laghuvyadita, the symptoms will be more, but the disease will be less severe. So we give less low dose of tracks. In Gurvyadita, the disease is very strong, but symptoms will be less severe. So we assess it and we give the treatment, we give the medicine in higher dose. So Ayurveda medicine is Purusham Miksha. It is called Purusham Miksha, according to the patient. Patient assessing the Bala, Rogabala and Rogabala, we give the treatment. This is the holistic approach of Ayurveda. These words, these are the reference, right? So I thank the organizers, Captain Ganesh Karnik sir, Venugopal Prasad sir, Ramesh sir, and Girish, Dr. Girish, Dr. Nimmala Kalamani, Dr. Pallavi, Kitty, Dr. Arati also. And especially I thank the Dr. Professor Srinivasan for giving me opportunity for giving this. And also, I am also thankful for the patient hearing by the audience, the professors, aunties, lecturers, and students and public for giving patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir, for this informative session. Also, we all know that after post-COVID era, lung health has need same awareness as heart disorders. This was a very informative session. Now, I would like to start with questions. Sir, there is a question by gynecologist Dr. Padma Sarita. She has asked, like, how can we stop viral load on fetus in cases of COVID positive mothers? Sir, She has asked a question: how can we stop viral load on fetus in cases of COVID positive mothers with our medications?
Actually, we have antiviral drugs, we have immunomodulators. We can give Guduchi Kashaya, Amrutotharam Kashayam, and we can give Pushkaramaraswa, these medicines are useful. So actually, don't know it is within fetus or not. However, it goes to the circulation and it will improve the immunity of the patient. So by increasing immunity, the viral load can be decreased. So we can give these. We cannot give the medicines containing arsenic because arsenic it damages the fetus. We cannot give Unaparvasa or Pitamshasa. We best avoid these medicines. But however, we can give herbal medicines like we have Amrutotharam Kashayam, Guduchapi Kashayam, and like Agaspari. These can be given.
Also, sir, in patients of tubercular endometriosis leading to infertility, along with modern AKT, she has given Ajamamsa Rasayana, etc. But the prognosis is very low, sir. So, how
We
to?
can use Sarna Basma, Sarna containing medicines. We can give Sarna Basma. Sarna Basma can be added with the Shitaplaj Sarna and can be given. Sarna Basma. Sarna is having, gold is having anti-tubercular activity. So, we can use Pippali is also one drug. The Piperlongum is also having anti-tubercular activity. So, we can give Pippali Shirapaka. Pippali Shirapaka can be given. Pippali Shirapaka, Sarnabasma mixed with Uttabalaj Sarna. Can give Sasaka Sintamani Rasa. This can be given to increase the immunity and anti-tubercular activity. Can you also give Sarnamali Vasanta? Sarnamali Vasanta contains Sarnabasma.
I hope you have your doubt is clear, ma'am. Any other questions? Sir, there is one question by Dr. Nivedita. Sir, have you treated any lung transplantation patient post lung transplant patient?
Not really.
Okay. Also, sir, I would like to ask question after post-COVID in lung fibrosis. Uh, there are many cases of lung fibrosis in post-COVID. So, what can we advise in? Yes, sir.
We can give medicines which support the lungs. We have Siddha Makardaja Guttika, and Purna Chandrodaya Rasa, Vedanti Basma. This we can give. Rasa Sindhura, this can be given. So actually this will increase give stimulation to the lungs. Also the respiration also. This is especially Siddha Makardaja and Makardaja Guttika. This is a cardiac respiratory stimulant. It stimulates the heart as well as lungs also. So we can give the mixture of Purnachandra Rasa and Vedanti Basma, Abhradasma Shatapatti, and Chittablajya. For example, you can add Siddhamakar Purnachandra Rasa 500 milligrams. You can mix Purnachandra 500 milligrams with the 10 grams of Vedanti Basma and 10 grams of Abhraka Shatapatti with the 50 grams of Chittablajya. Properly mix it, triturate it, and give half teaspoon twice daily with honey, and give for 3 months or 6 months. It is the best drug or formulation, best mixer, which supports the lungs. Similarly, we can give Guduchi Kashaya, Ramasatra Kashaya also. It also supports the lungs. So it is to prevent the repeated infections. To prevent the repeated infections. So it will support the lungs. Okay. Such medicines we can give with the good result. Okay. So we have to give the immunity boosters, and we have to give the further respiratory stimulants, as I told. I think I hope these are beneficial in patients of lung fibrosis cases.
Sir, there is a next question. When to use Himagarbha Pottali Rasayana?
Totally, it is a potent drug. It is also costly. Also, it is much costly. So you have to give when the common treatment is fails now. Then you have to start Hemagglutinin. For example, in suppose tuberculosis, pulmonary tuberculosis, which is resistant, drug resistant, and other organisms also will not work, is not working. Then you can start Hemagglutinin. Right? So when in conditions where all other treatment fails, then you can start Hemagglutinin, as it is Rasayana, comorbid also. It is since it is costlier, so it is better prefer the last step.
Sir, there is a next question. Sir, can you please suggest any medicine for transplantation patient, as our medicines are multifunctional and they even improve immunity. But here these patients are under immunosuppressive drugs.
You can give is going to minimize the rejection, organ rejection. So you can, as a supported drug, you can give Estimol. Estimol is having a steroidal effect. It has a steroidal principle and the immunosuppressant. It will add additive effect for immunosuppressant. Can you estimate you can. So otherwise, you can start other drugs like Kalshika Mishrana. These drugs can be given. Suppose lung transplantation, there can chance of rejection symptom, or there can be infection. So we have to take consideration. So you can use an immunosuppressant salt. Then you can start medicines like Rasindura, Mallasindura, Rasamanikya, this can be Purnajindodaya. Rasamular is also can be supported.
Sir, voice is not clear, sir.
Dashamular can also be given in such patient, right?
Okay, sir. Sir, there is a next question. How to deal with cystic fibrotic patient with Ayurveda?
Cystic fibrosis, where cysts are saying, fibrosis are saying the lungs. Can you suppose there is infection, then you can treat the infection. If infection is there, you can treat the infection. Infection by giving Murtinya Rasa and Kapaketa Rasa, any one of them, Urbanaketa Rasa. Along with that, you can give other medicines like Pushkar Mulaka, Poshkar Kashaya, Nishumala Patikara Kashaya. These can be given.
Sir, next question. Sir, there is a patient age 60 years has a metastasis in lungs, and origin cancer was in ovary, uterus, or rectum. So in this case, what to do, sir? Cancer marking is 125 is on 350.
Okay. So actually, the primary disease is the primary carcinoma of that should be treated first. So then secondary is in the lungs. So there are medicines. So we have Raudra Rasa, Vajra Basma, Ballata Kavati. Ballata Kavati is the anti-cancer. And we have Raudra Rasam. The research has been conducted in Jamnagar, research in Gujarat University, as Raudra Rasa is very effective. And we have Kanchana Gulu, another drug. Kanchana Gulu, Aragyavinity. Aragyavinity can give, it improves the appetite. It can improve the appetite and it improves the general condition. You can give Kanchana Gulu with some anti-cancer effect. And you can also give Raudra Rasam, which is having anti-cancer effect. And Vajra Basma. Vajra Basma is also having anti-cancer activity. However, we have to treat the disease first by giving, suppose in modern medicine, conventional medicine, they are giving some drugs like anti-cancer drugs or cytotoxic drugs or other treatment, the radical excision, that has to be done first. And if they say no, then we can give some add-on therapy, we can give these medicines. So once it is diagnosed, prognosis is poor. However, prognosis is poor in such case, as already there is primary in the prostate or in the uterus, and from secondary is in the lungs. So the prognosis is poor, but we can improve the quality of life. We can decrease the severity of symptoms, and we can increase the appetite, quality of life. And also we can sometimes increase the hemoglobin also by giving add-on therapy of Ayurveda. So that is that. So it has not as a main therapy, but add-on though. But in some cases, already they have taken chemotherapy or radical excision followed by chemotherapy or radiotherapy. They then come in the last stage, they come to Ayurveda. So then we can start Ayurveda treatment, add-on therapy, and also as a supportive therapy. We can improve the quality of life. We can reduce the severity of pain or burning sensation symptoms. We can improve the strength of the patient. Healthy lives, we can improve the quality of life. So this is the role of Ayurveda in the patient software malignancy. Okay.
Next question, sir. A method of formulating effective treatment protocol of VKD patients.
VKD, right? VKD.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Related to lungs, but okay. CKD patients,
Yes.
what a question?
Sir, for lungs, method of formulating effective treatment protocol of VKD patients.
CKD patients, you see, there is the glomerular filtration rate is decreased, isn't it? So we have to evaluate the extent of morbidity, extent of damage, isn't it? So first degree, second degree, third degree, you have to see. And what are the organs? What are the organs which are affected? You have to see. Isn't it? How much extensive is the disease? For example, if there is a suppose there is obstruction, you have to give a treatment for obstruction. Suppose BPH is there, you have to give the Varunadi Kashaya and Muniprabha tablets or Indraprabha Vati. We have to remove the obstruction. So if there is a urethral stricture is there, we have to give treatment for urethral stricture. Suppose there is a hypertension is there, severe hypertension, we have to give a treatment for hypertension. So line of treatment is anti-hypertensive drugs. Like we have Sapagandhavati, other tablets, Ashwagandha tablet. If the patient is having history of intake of nephrotoxic drugs like non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, we have to stop that treatment. Nimesulide or diclofenac, we have to stop these medicines as these will further damage the kidneys. So if there is anemia, is there silent vision may have to Puranavadi Mandura or Navayasalom. There is a osteomalacia or osteoarthritis fibrosis cystica, we have to give, or hypokalemia, hypocalcemia, we have to give calcium supplements. You can Pravada Panchamutarasa, Mukta Panchamutarasa, or Godan Divasma, or Pravada Pishti, or Mukta Pishti, as these are all contain natural calcium. Calcium supplementation has to be done. Because in these patients, there will be overactivity of the parathyroid hormone and then hypocalcemia. So, to counter effect, For this, we have to give the calcium-containing medicines, Siddhavarga series like Pravala Pishti, Pravala Vasma, Pravala Bandamadrasa, and Mukta Bandamadrasa. And if there is a sodium and water load, we have to give diuretics. It's very important. Diuretics, but not diuretics containing potassium, because potassium, retention of potassium, the hypercalcemia is one of the most common complications of CKD. So you should best avoid Sitavarka, which contains high potassium content. So we can give other drugs like Punanavadi Mandoram, Punanavarishta, Punanavasava, Punanavastaka Prashayam. These we can give. Lagoksharaj Guguru, these we can Punapanchamala Kashayam, Varunadi Kashayam. These combinations can be given as diuretics in case of CKD. So diuretics is main line of it. So actually we have to follow, we have to evaluate the extension of how much damage has occurred, extent of pathology, extent of morbidity, involvement of the other organs and complications. Accordingly, we have to take. However, modern principles has to be followed along with Ayurvedic medications. So I think the integrated approach is the better. But once the patient needs dialysis, he has to undergo dialysis. There is no treatment in Ayurveda. So sometimes patient may need kidney transplantation. So there is no other way. So patient has to be transplanted. However, add-on therapy can be given in such patient.
Thank you, sir. I think 3 questions were has answered before by sir. So I'll go for the next question. Sir, can you please tell about the role of Dhanvantaram Gutika in the management of COPD?
COPD, I have not given the number in the time, but it may be maybe reducing symptoms. I have not given. I have given Mukam Kutikadi also from Kerala Pharmacy. Good. So, COPD. So given another Gutika is usually given in gastric acidity and bloating, distension of abdomen. So cases I give it could be backache conditions.
Thank you, sir. I think now all the questions has covered. So thank you so much, sir, for answering all the questions. And thank you for this wonderful session. I consider it as my privilege to be given this opportunity by SWAC and my HOD, sir. And it was very informative session, sir. And we look forward for more such opportunities. Now I would like to invite Ramesh Ji, General Secretary of SWAC, for the vote of thanks.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Acharya, can you close your PPT, please?
Okay.
It was a great session for an Ayurvedic students as well as the faculty members and the practitioners. This is what the idea of a Swadeshi Vignana Andolana, what we wanted to be brought into that a single platform called the Dhanvantari Vedike. It's an Ayurveda wing, Ayurveda Ayush wing of our Swadeshi Vignana Andolana Karnataka. We wanted to bring all the ancient Indian medicines treatments to the single platform, so that all the opportunities has been given to the everyone, and make use of this Dhanvantari Vedike to grow our Ayurveda in the country. I think India's second largest Ayurveda colleges we have in Karnataka, and maximum students are coming from all the parts of the country and as well as from the abroad to learn Ayurveda in our state. And we have to come joint hands together, and we have to come to a single platform so that we can showcase our Ayurveda to the globally. This is what we wanted to do. So today's program was initiated and started by, this is the motive of our program, Dhanvantari Vedike of Swadeshi Vignana Andolana Karnataka. I think our parental organization is called Vijnana Bharati. That's, they conduct a World Ayurveda Congress in every year. every 2 years. So that was a great expo and a big seminar, international seminar. So Karnataka unit of Vigyana Bharati, it's called Swadeshi Vignana Andolana Karnataka. So I would like to uh, take this opportunity to welcome you all for the Dhanvantari Vedike, so that we can make Dhanvantari and Ayurveda to be in a globally and very strong and effectively to the world what Karnataka has been doing it. Maharashtra is the number one states in the Ayurveda colleges, and the Karnataka is the number two. And the maximum practitioners and the maximum benefits are being taken by the Kerala, so that we are not differentiating of any states over here. We wanted Karnataka to be the protected and promoted the Ayurveda, what we have been doing it. So this is an opportunity for all the people. This series of lectures will be continued for every day, every week of six. We have planned for a 6 lecture series of every weekends and every week and every weekends. So the next lecture will be by Dr. Veera Kumar, Sri Dharmasthala Manjunatha College of Ayurveda, Udupi. He will give you the lecture on Amavata. It will be on a Saturday. This is a series of lectures. Every week we will be having a 2 lecture series. So you all can join for this next lecture series. So we are targeting this lecture series to the BMS students and the PG, UG students, the Ayurveda faculty members and Ayurveda practitioners, so that they can get a benefit from this lecture series. So we have joined for this program. We have collaboratively joined with Sri Paripurna Sanatana Ayurveda Medical College, Hospital and Research Center, which is located near to our office in the Bangalore, Hebbal. In Nelamangala. It's very close to Bangalore, and you all can join there. And we would like to thank our patron, Professor K.I. Vasuji, who has been made us proud to be of this organization and a globally known organization, Vigyana Bharati and Swadeshi Vignana Andolana Karnataka. We would like to thank our Professor K.I. Vasuji, and also we would like to thank our President, Captain Ganesh Karnik, who was a dynamic president for our Swadeshi Vignana Karnataka, who was also a former MLC of Karnataka, government of Karnataka, and Dr. C. Renuka Prasad, who was working president of Swadeshi Vignana Karnataka. He was also a former vice chancellor of Karnataka Veterinary and Fisheries Sciences, Bidar. And of course, this is a collaborative program of Sri Paripurna Sanatana Ayurveda Medical College, Hospital and Research Center. And the founder of this, founder and managing trustee, Sri Paripurna Sanatana Charitable Trust, Professor Dr. A.V. Srinivasan. We would like to thank you, sir. You are graciously, you are inaugurating these sessions and this series of lecture series, and we would like to thank you, sir. And also our executive committee members who have been supporting us for all the programs, and our Dhanvantari Vedike's team of Swadeshi Vignana Andolana Karnataka, which was led by Dr. Nirmala Kelamani, Dr. Shripati Acharya, Dr. Girish, Dr. Pallavi Shetty, and many more Ayurvedic doctors like Satyanarayana Bhatt, Dr. Satyanarayana Bhatt, and Dr. Ashok Satpute, and so many other eminent peoples, Dr. Jaiprakash Narayan, they are all our members of Swadeshi Vignana Andolana Karnataka, and they are all part of our Dhanvantari Vedike. In the coming future, what we are planning is not only the series of lectures we wanted to conduct, we wanted to conduct a national Ayurveda conference that we in the 2009 we had this National Ayurveda Congress in Alvas Ayurvedic Medical College in Mudugidre. After that, we had another program it's a part of the it's a part of a national conference in the Dharmasthala Ujire. We had a small branch of Ayurveda, and Ayurveda and Dhanvantari, in the name of Dhanvantari, we used to have in our all the seminars, what all the seminars we have been conducting, like Kannada Vignana Seminar, we used to conduct in September month. It's a regionally language seminar, Kannada Vignana Sammelana, September 15 to September 17. Recently, we concluded our this 16th version of Kannada Vignana Sammelana in Mangalore University. There will be a part of the session in that theme called Dhanvantariyam. So all the Ayurvedic and modern medicine science papers can be presented there in the regional language, especially only in Kannada. And also we have to conduct a National Women's Science Congress in every year, November 7 to 9. So there is also a Dhanvantari Vedike, Dhanvantari wing, same as well as the Ayurveda and all the other medicinal branches with papers will be presented there. So what we wanted is, one is we have to conduct, we were planning to have a National Ayurveda Congress, that is one thing. Second thing is a Charaka Sarani, which will be a chanting of slokas of Charaka Samhita and chanting and practicing the slokas at the same time in a day, at the same day. So this is what we are having a plan for all the students. So we'll be coming up all these things, and I will request all the participants who have joined today to log in our website www.svak.org to look at our activities, programs, and also I request all of you to become a part and member of our Swadeshi Vignana Karnataka. Our application, life member application form has been uploaded in our website. It is available. You can download the web application form and become a member and part of the Ayurveda, and also part of the Swadeshi Vignana Karnataka to promote and propagate the ancient Indian science and technology and the medicinal values and contributions to the globally what we have done from the India. I would like to thank all the participation, all the members, and Dr. Arati, you have done very good job, and Dr. Nirmala Kelamani. Also, I would like to thank Dr. Nirmala Kelamani also, and I would like to thank all the participants who have joined today. The feedback form has been given to you all. The certificates have been automatically generated to you to your email ID. You have to give a correct email ID so that you will get a certificate to your email IDs. Thank you, one and all. We will see you on Saturday with 5:30 p.m. with another series of lectures of Dhanvantari Vedike, lecture 2. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.